Today we will be comparing and ordering integers. Please copy the standard benchmark indicator down at the top of a clean page in your math notebook. The student will compare and order integers. You can pause the video here to give yourself more time to copy down the SBI. Comparing and ordering integers. When comparing two integers on a number line, the integer that is farther to the right is greater. The integer that is farther to the left is less. So compare -6 and -10. -6 is farther to the right than -10, so it is greater. So -6 is greater than -10. Compare -1 and 2. Because 2 is farther to the right than -1, it is greater. So 2 is greater than -1. Order -4, 0, and -7 from least to greatest. Because -7 is farthest to the left, it's the most negative. It's the least. 0 is farther to the right than -4, so -4 is the next least. So we have -7, -4. And then 0 is the greatest. So the numbers in order from least to greatest are -7, -4, and 0. So use greater than, less than, or equal to compare. So -5 and 3, if we look at our number line, we know -5 is further to the left, so it is less than 3. For 15 and -4, 15 is farther to the right, so it is greater than -4. For number 3, we have 0 and 27. We know 27 is farther to the right, so 0 is less than 27. For 4, we're comparing 52 to the absolute value of 52. And we know from yesterday's lesson that the absolute value of any number is a positive number. So the absolute value of -52 is 52. So 52 is equal to the absolute value of -52. For 5, we have -9 and the absolute value of -9. So again, we know absolute value is positive, so that's going to be 9. So then we're comparing -9 to 9, and we know -9 is less than 9. For 6, we have -6 and -7. We know -6 is further to the right, so it is greater than -7. For 10 through 12, they want us to order the numbers from least to greatest. So if we look at number 10, we have 9, -1, -4, and 2. -4 is the farthest to the left on the number line, so it's the least. Next is -1, then 2, and then 9. For 11, we have 1, the absolute value of -2, which we know is 2, -8, and 6. So the number that is furthest to the left on our number line is -8. Then we're going to have 1. Then the absolute value of -2, because that's 2. Make sure you write it in its original form when you're writing from least to greatest. And finally, we have 6 at the end. For 12, we have 15, -7, -12, 0, and the absolute value of 5. Again, we know absolute value is always positive, so the absolute value of 5 is 5. So our number that is furthest to the left on the number line is -12, followed by -7. Then we have 0, which is right in the middle of our number line, followed by the absolute value of 5, and then by 15. Manuel dug holes to plant an oak tree, a rose bush, lantana, and prairie grass. The table shows the depth of the holes. You can think of ground level as 0, so the holes closest to ground level are not as deep as the holes farthest from ground level. Which plant hole is closest to ground level? In this case, we know it's the prairie grass. We're going to answer the first question. Then, which one is the furthest from ground level? In this case, it's the oak tree. Okay, and then we know the prairie grass is -6 and the oak tree is -22. So since it's asking us to compare the depths of the holes, in this case the numbers, we know -6 is closer to 0, it's further to the right, so it's greater than -22. Then for 14, for reasoning, write 3 integers less than -27. So they need to be further to the left on your number line. And that I will check when you guys bring this paper into class tomorrow. All right, one last thing before we finish up here with our comparing integers. This is a question off of some testing materials we've used in the past. And Marcus will dive from this platform and touch the bottom of the swimming pool. And it wants us to find what expression represents the distance Marcus will travel from the platform to the bottom of the pool. So if we look here, we know we're going to be adding, not multiplying, so we can cross H and J off right away. So now we have F, which is 7 plus -12, or 7 plus the absolute value of -12. So if we look at our question again, they want to represent the distance he's traveling from the platform to the bottom of the pool. So we want the total distance he covers. Right, so we're covering 7 from the diving board to the water, to the 0, and then down 12. So it's -12. But since we want the total distance he travels, we want the absolute value of 12. So our answer is going to be G. So please make sure this and your other worksheet are glued in your math notebook for tomorrow.